As a college instructor dedicated to fostering critical thinking and intellectual honesty, I have synthesized David Shaw's analysis of noble lie with my own pedagogical perspective. Shaw confronts the question on whether the management of corporate culture through storytelling and myth making is ethically justifiable and practically feasible in a modern context. The author answers that it is highly doubtful whether corporate leaders possess the necessary moral authority to shape employee identities or if such manipulative strategies can actually achieve beneficial outcomes. He means to say that while Plato's noble lie was theoretically justified by the unimpeachable goodness of philosopher kings, modern corporate leaders lack these qualifications, making their use of narratives an intrusive and potentially unethical tool of social control. He justifies this claim by giving the following example and explanation. Imagine a leaders like Forrest Mars, who discovered improperly wrapped candy and hurled the entire inventory one by one at a glass panel in a boardroom. This shows that such legendary acts are often intended to instigate culture bearing stories that frame and define the reality of others, essentially using myth making to impose conformity rather than engaging in honest communication. In the face of Shah's argument, I argue that philosophy of management and by extension the philosophy of education must move beyond the management of meaning to prioritize the co-creation of meaning through transparency. In other words, I believe that the role of an instructor or leader is not to socialize subordinates into a unitary set of beliefs, but to empower them to critically evaluate those beliefs for themselves. To be fair, other thinkers argue differently, stating that creating a strong, myth rich corporate culture is as beneficial to the individual as it is to the organization. This means that these fairy tales and legends fulfill a dominating need of human beings to find meaning, transforming a workplace from a giant machine into a community that provides security and fulfillment. To this, I reply that fulfillment derived from falsehoods in words is a reduced and fragile form of justice that treats the audience as incapable of understanding the truth. To illustrate, take the case of a classroom where an instructor propagates noble lies about an industry to induce student commitment or harmony. This case reveals that once the mundane reality is discovered, the result is inevitably cynicism, resistance, and the creation of counter stories that undermine the leader's credibility. Therefore, true harmony and organizational health cannot be built on fairy tales or the imposition of social conformity. So starting today, as a college instructor, I will challenge my students to look behind the rich tapestries of anecdote in corporate life, teaching them to value intellectual autonomy over the comfort of a manufactured reality. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.